welcome to another Minecraft update video. It's Snapshot 20W46A, and in this episode we're going to be looking over all of the new things and all of the changes that have come to this snapshot. Now, this update focuses pretty heavily on the new powdered snow block, but I'm going to get to that in a minute. First things first, there's some new block textures for a bunch of blocks that we saw in the last update. So the cut copper, the lightning rod, the calcite, the amethyst, the budding amethyst, and the tinted glass all have a slightly different texture. Now, these aren't big changes, they're just slight texture variations, and the calcite almost seems a lot smoother of a texture, a lot less varied. It's almost more like a marble than we've ever seen. These barely changed at all, and this, the tinted glass just has less of this fogging effect on it, and I think I like this better than the last variation. And then we also have down in my hotbar here new textures, new entity textures for the candle, the copper ingot, the amethyst shard, and the bundle. And then this is the new filled bundle, so it's kind of opposite. And the other big changes that came is now copper ingots, you only need 4 to make a block instead of the 9 that you needed before. So this was going to be quite an expensive block before because you had to mine every single ore individually, but now that it only cost 4, it's going to be much easier to make full builds out of this. The other thing that's different copper related is the lightning rod. This isn't something that you can see, but lightning rods are now going to attract lightning twice as far. So these are all the textures that have changed, and now I'm going to put up the old versions of them on the screen as well so that you can see them side by side. The other changes aren't as big of changes. There's a change to the sky, that it's going to blend more slowly between different biomes, and this probably has something to do with the upcoming mountain biomes and the way that clouds are going to work there. So that's a small change. And then also in the menu, you can now scroll through the different options instead of clicking on them. I'm not really sure. This just seems to be an accessibility fix, but I quite like it. So I'm not clicking right now. I'm actually using the scroll wheel on my mouse. Now, getting to the most important part of this update, the new powdered snow. And it's not only a trap block, a block that you fall into, but it actually deals you damage. So if I put myself in survival mode here, there I have full hearts. This block in the middle is actually the powdered snow, and this is the snow on the outside. So it does have a slightly different texture variation. You could see it if you were looking really hard, but it matches in a lot. So if I move over, I fall into it, and then after a second, I apparently will start taking freezing damage. Oh yeah, look, oh, it's just a texture on your screen. Look at that. So I'm slowly becoming colder and colder and colder, and eventually I'll become frozen. There. Oh, look at my hearts. They turn blue. Oh, I really like that texture. So you'll slowly start taking damage, and it's not a lot. It's enough that you can regenerate the damage. So I'm not really sure. Maybe if I was in 2 blocks of it, it would be worse, but right now the damage doesn't actually seem to be doing me too much harm. Now, this is something that you actually pick up in a bucket. It's not a block that you get, it's a liquid, so you can put it down like this. Now, what if I walked into 2 blocks of it? Oh, I'm just actually inside of this block. That's interesting. You'd think it would be black, but no, or white. But it seems that I'm able to easily regenerate the health, and I haven't eaten in a while, so yeah, not the most dangerous. And then they said that if you put leather armor on, it actually reduces this damage based on how much leather armor you have on, and if you have a full leather set, it won't hurt you at all. But that doesn't seem to be the case either. Let me see if I leave and warm back up, let the texture completely go off of my screen. and then get back in. Oh, no. Oh, you see, you can walk on it with the leather armor. Now, what if you just have boots? Oh, but you can shift into it. And you'll slowly become cold. So the boots allow you to walk on it, but you can still shift into it, and it will still make you cold, but apparently much slower. Yeah, that seems to be much slower, but they did say in the change notes that full leather set of armor would negate the damage completely, and that doesn't seem to be the case. You still take the same amount of damage with a full set of leather armor. Now, bugs aside, the way that you get this block is actually you put cauldrons out where it is snowing, and the snow falling collects in the cauldron, and then you're able to pull it out with a bucket. Now, I assume that you're also going to be able to find this just in the world, but this is a new interesting mechanic for farming where you're going to have to lay out cauldrons. And since you can actually move cauldrons in Java, you could create a farm that moves the cauldrons around, and then maybe with dispensers with empty buckets, you would be able to pull out the snow. I wonder if that's possible. So let's give myself a dispenser here and just a lever. And I have an empty bucket. Let's put this facing the cauldron. Pop in an empty bucket, take my lever, and throw it. No, it's not. No, it's not possible to pick it up with the dispenser yet. So I think that would be a good addition in the future, so that this is totally farmable without even having to touch it. We could use hoppers to put empty buckets in dispensers, and then when they're full, we could suck them out, and we could basically make a circle of them that just keeps filling up, and you could collect as much powdered snow as you wanted. Now, I wanted to look at how the slow and damage effect carries against these other things that slow you down. So it slows you down quite a bit, and if you run, not too bad, but I don't think it's going to be as slow as the cobweb. No, see, the cobweb still slows you down much more. But now what about the berry bushes? Yeah, it's actually pretty comparable to the berry bush. And the only difference is you take about the same amount of damage, but the berry bush you have to be moving to take the damage, and the powdered snow just does it if you're in it at all. So I found myself a mountain here where it's snowing, and what I'm going to do is place down a bunch of cauldrons and just see how long they take to fill up. So I'm going to time it just to see how long it actually takes to get these. So I'm going to put down 9, and then I'm just going to put my camera here, and I'm going to speed things up. And there, I think, is our answer. I don't think that they've implemented this change yet, just like the leather armor for some reason. They said that it's in here, but it just doesn't seem to be working. It's still filling up with water as if it was raining. I'm still going to keep timing just in case when it becomes full it turns to powdered snow, but I don't think that's going to be the case unless they didn't want to build a new half-full cauldron texture. I don't know. I'm going to keep leaving this going for a while, but I'm not too hopeful that it's going to change once it fills up. I'm not sure if this is something that's based on random tick speed or not. Let's just try that for a second. Set it to 500. No. Now, this isn't based on random tick speed. This is based on actual time, and this is a brand new update, so I have no way to tick warp. There's no carpet for this update yet, so I'm just going to have to wait and see if this turns into powdered snow. Now I added just a couple more cauldrons. Let's see if we can get this to work. Well, and that, I believe, proves that. I have been here for quite a while now, and I have a bunch of cauldrons that are 100% full of water, and nothing has turned into powdered snow. So I think that this is just a bug, and hopefully it'll be fixed in the next one so that we can try and make some farms with this new mechanic. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe because I'm going to be covering every update as it comes out. But thank you for watching, and goodbye!